Don't even want to make this video, folks. But I have to. Somebody has to. Because, you know what? Needs to be said. And if I gotta do it, so be it. I think I'm gonna be sick. That's better. Hi. How you been? You warm? You comfortable? Okay. Settle in. It's gonna be wild. It's not gonna be that bad. No, honestly, I wanted to address this for a while. American manufacturing. Not just American companies, but American manufacturing. The actual making of things here in America, I think, is important. And I support it. Which is why I support, as a company, Fastcap. And stuff. However, just because something is made in America doesn't mean it's of quality. And that's going to become very apparent to you soon here. You know, it's really hard to make these videos. I don't think you understand that. Fastcap is an American company that makes tools. All sorts of stuff. Right here in America, in Washington, I believe. And they got a lot of stuff to offer the market. And I've bought a bunch of it. I think one of their more popular products... All right, see? Now remember, I don't really prepare for these videos. So just, I got my little clipboard here. A couple little notes. So it takes me a little while to find my rhythm. Bear with me. I just got to figure out how I want to bash this company. Now, honestly, this video does not come from a place of malice. I'm just addressing something I think is a concern, a real concern. And here it is. Fastcap has this product, the Third Hand. I think it's one of their more popular things, and I actually like this. It's a useful tool. I have them in the longer versions as well. These are the short ones. These are called the Upper Hand. See? Oh, I was just slipped out of my chair. This is the most dangerous chair. It's almost caused me multiple injuries. Upper Hand. Basically, it's just a little device. There's all sorts of feet for it. And these have really pretty much been fine. However, there's a big flaw with this product. And it's right here. This little ball detent device. Can you see up in that tube? Can you see it in there? I think you can. You push them in and you can rotate up and it locks into the next set of holes. That's how you adjust the height. That's great. Right? That's cool. Major flaw. Possibly the worst design they could have come up with. I'm not really knocking that aspect of it because it works. What I am knocking is this little detent device here. Because here's what happens. It falls out. It falls out. I've lost a couple of them. And let me see if I can, oops. Wonderful. Now it's split in half. It's like surgery. All right. That little guy, they fall out. They just stop working. It just goes into the tube, pinch it, slide it up there, and it locks into the holes. It's a very poor design. I've had to take them out and bend them back into shape. The detent itself, that little piece, you can buy a new one from Fastcap. They sell them for $1. Except once you tack on tax and shipping, it's $16.47 to replace that little thing. And without it, it's useless. You can't adjust it. You can't adjust it up and down, and it just rotates freely if it's not locked in. I think these things are like $30 brand new. So the fact that to replace this with shipping is $16.47. Where I live in Minnesota is outrageous. You should never have, the whole point of this video, an American-made tool, this is a tool, this is outrageous. I could dang near buy a whole new one. So that's a concern of mine. But this is an even bigger one. And this is really getting to the heart of the video. American-made. Good metal, right? Yeah, nice metal. Actually, it is. However, what this is a tripod for the third hand. Goes down in there. So that's cool. Except they use this cheap plastic where you really need the strength. Top and bottom, these pieces, I've had them both break, top and bottom. This renders this totally useless. That's supposed to, wonderful, knocking things off the, so this knob is supposed to tighten around that pole, keep it from moving. No matter as tight as I go, it doesn't work. It just loosely sits in there. So that's the second strike against Fastcap. Mind you, you can't even buy those parts. You got to buy a whole new tripod. The tripod is $30 plus $17 for shipping, and with tax, $51.49 to replace this. For $51, I'm in that, like, I expect that to, like, I would pay, I don't know what I would pay for this. I'd probably pay 50, 60 bucks if this was all metal and it lasted forever. I ain't paying $51 to replace this one. I've had two break, and you can't get the parts, and I wouldn't even pay for the parts. I can buy a whole new one. So this is strike two, strike three. That's right. Strike three. If you happen to own Capex, Festo Capex, Fastcap makes their best fence system for that saw specifically, because that saw uses special adapters that connect to the saw. And this is Fastcap's version. What do you notice about this? It's the same dirt cheap plastic that everything else is made of. All these other parts. That one, here's the one I had to make because it broke. I had to make my own. Now, again, we're going to get into, let's see, again, almost the same price as the tripod. $51.46 to have this shipped to me. That's everything. $51. Can you even believe that? Look at this. I had to put so much torque to get the thing to clamp onto the saw. The bolt, right there, you see that crack? Cracked. The whole thing is just like warped. And then they use these pins. This is what holds it onto the saw. They use this little rubber tubing. And then you put this mounts on, this stays on the saw. And then the extensions, the aluminum extensions drop on here. And then through the aluminum, this pin goes into this. All right, that's their genius containment device. Well, what happened? Look what happened. It fell off. That was like a $400, I think it's over $500 now. The best fence system for the Capex. The two aluminum extensions, two tripods, two of these, the feet, and a bag. That's like $500. Both the tripods broke. One of the brackets broke. And lost a pin. And not to mention the whole system is just, because of these cheap brackets, it's just floppy, doesn't attach well. So, I'm not happy with Fastcap. I'm not happy with their cheap plastic manufacturing. You know, the weird thing is, some of their stuff is dirt cheap like this, but then the fences, the aluminum extrusions, they're like overbuilt, super heavy duty. Never have a problem with them. Honestly, they're a little too heavy. They're, yeah, built like a tank. But then you pair it with all this cheap stuff, and it concerns me. I can't be the only one that feels this way. Maybe I'm way off base here. Let me know what you think. Do you think American manufacturing, especially for what you're paying, should be this cheap? That it breaks? I don't think so. And I'm not, again, actually I like Fastcap as a company. They got stuff, I got a bunch of their stuff I like. The soft wax kit, I like this. The fast break, edge breaker, I like that. They got edge banding stuff. You know, their roller, their edge banding tools. I like all that stuff. But I don't really expect this to break. You know, a lot of these tools, I mean, this is expected to be in and out of job sites and vehicles. And they're still making it the same way. I bought these, I don't even know, 6, 7, 8 years ago. They've been broken for years. I haven't even really been able to use. Actually, this one recently broke. The other one broke years ago, and it's not even worth replacing, honestly. We need to see and demand more from American companies. For instance, there's 2 other companies. Y'all know, Woodpeckers and TSO. American companies making stuff here that I have no worries about their stuff ever breaking. Super high quality, through and through. That's what I mean. You're paying premium prices, of course, but you're not having to worry about stuff breaking. Now I may be nitpicking here. Nitpicking. I like the idea of this tape measure, the flat back they call it. It's floppy and flat. It lays flat. However, it's not accurate. It's a 32nd of an inch off. When I hold it on my stair at 12-inch combination square, it's a 32nd of an inch difference, which when making fine things, I can't use this because it doesn't match any of my other stuff. It's not even just this one, it's all of them, because I had 2. Can I even? Yeah, let's see here. It is a 32nd of an inch, roughly, long. 37 of an inch long, 32nd of an inch. And it's got this weird thing where when you pull it, do you see? It like lifts up off the surface. It doesn't lay flat. Tape measure does, but this hook, it lifts. It's very strange. So I stopped using these a long time ago. I don't know if that's, I don't know. It's just, that's weird. That's just a weird one there. They're both, yeah, they're about a 32nd of an inch. So anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think we should hold companies, not just Fastcap, to a higher standard if it's made here? I think so. You know, interestingly, on a side note, Festool, they use a lot of plastic too. Knobs and wheels and things. Never had any issues with their stuff, and that stuff is on site and moving around with me a lot more than this stuff ever was. So I don't know if it's just the plastic that they're using here. Is it just a cheap plastic? I know some plastics are unbelievably, you know, my garbage can, for instance, got hit out on the street and someone drug it, I don't know, 200 yards probably. I think it was intentional. It was probably one of my enemies. Those things take a beating. That's some good plastic. Wore a hole right through the side of it, though. Really wild stuff. Somebody's out to get me. I could be dead soon. Could be dead soon. Well, let me know what you think. Oh, this pen is all dirty. Don't you hate when people always have a pen in their hand? Like they're going to use it and they never use it? It's always just in their hand, like they got something to write down, but they never write anything down? What is going on here? Oh, this is ridiculous. This is a dud of a video. Total dud. I might have to reshoot this. I don't know. I'm just a putz. That's all. Hey, see you next time. Thanks for watching.